Hello and welcome back to Barclay Homestead. My name is Martha and I'm so glad you found me. Today we will be making homemade bread from one simple bread recipe. This will be a restock of all my bread items for the first half of the month of February 2024. It's so exciting. The last year went so fast and this year is already starting out the same way. Today we will be making 6 different dough balls that I will be turning into sandwich buns, sub buns or Kaiser rolls, whichever you want to call them, pizza dough, 4 different flavors of bagels, and garlic and herb breadsticks. This recipe has really been a game changer for me because before I was trying to remember all the different recipes in my brain and it gets a little overwhelming. And about 2 months ago I decided to just try and see if I could make everything, even pizza dough, out of this one simple 5 ingredient recipe, and it worked like a charm and I was so happy that I made the change. The recipe I will be using is 2.5 cups very warm water, 1 tablespoon sugar, 1 tablespoon yeast, and half a teaspoon of salt. 1 egg, 4 tablespoons butter or half a stick, and 5 to 6 cups of flour. I will be combining the water and the salt and sugar and yeast and stirring them up, covering them for about 5 or 10 minutes, letting them get all bubbly and beautiful just to make sure that my yeast is active. That's what I'm doing right now. Now that my yeast is active and bubbly, I'm going to add my egg and my butter and mix those in so they're well combined. And the butter is melted. I think I mentioned that, but now I know I have for sure. Once that's added in and all stirred up, I'm going to add 5 to 6 cups of flour. Just really depends. Add slow, and when you're doing it like I do, straight, scooping straight out of the bucket of flour, it does compact, so you're actually getting more flour than a cup if you were to sift it like you're supposed to. I just don't generally take the time to sift. I just go slow. Then I'm going to mix with my wooden spoon until the dough ball forms and is so it's not as sticky, so I can get my hand in there without being covered in dough. I'm sorry the light keeps going up and down. I'm thinking it's because of the sunshine outside that, as clouds pass over. Then I'll turn the dough out and knead it on the mat. This dough mat has definitely been a game changer for me. One thing I will note after I made this video is I will not use the dough mat on top of the tablecloth again. That, as you'll see in a moment, that did not work out very well at all. It was kind of a nightmare actually. But the dough mat definitely makes cleanup time a lot easier. I'm just going to flour my hands and flour the top of the dough and start to knead it in the bowl until it pulls all the leftover bits off the side, and then I know it's ready for me to turn it out and to work it on the mat by hand. I just keep adding just a little bit. I'd say about a tablespoon of flour until I know that it is the consistency that I would like it to be. Making bread is a labor of love, and it's absolutely one of my most favorite kitchen products or projects. It definitely takes time, but there's just something about kneading the dough. It's very relaxing. And now I'm going to turn the dough out onto my mat. As I said, do what I say and not what I do. Don't try to work it on top of a tablecloth. The mat is going to slide all over and be terrible. So I'm going to knead it for 3 to 6 minutes until it's smooth and elastic and pliable. And here in a moment, I'm going to get tired of trying to knead it on the mat, and I'm going to do it off camera. So when you're done kneading, coat the dough ball in oil, put it back in your bowl, and cover it and let it rise for 30 minutes to an hour. And then we'll be back to shape the dough. The first batch of dough has become our sandwich buns. I just made up some egg wash, which is just 1 egg and some milk. Sometimes I'll do just the egg yolk or just the white, but I have a lot of bread that I'm going to need an egg wash for, so I just went ahead and did the whole egg. And now I'm going to put it over each bun so we have a nice, beautiful crust on top. What I'm doing is making it, each time I am to the point where the first batch is ready to go into the oven, I start shaping the next thing. So that way I can be ready and keep an assembly line of sorts going so that I'm not out here in the kitchen constantly till the end of the day. The nice thing about bread is that there's downtime. There's time for you to do other things while it's working in the background. All right, so in the oven at 400 degrees for approximately 20 minutes, these go. The next batch of dough is going to become a batch of breadsticks, a double batch of breadsticks. Maybe even, we could get a lot of breadsticks out of this since it's just the 3 of us, sometimes the 4 of us. So I'm pretty confident that we can have breadsticks for a little while, which is really what I'd like to have. That way we can just grab them out on whenever we want to have breadsticks with dinner. So all I did is I have some butter, I put some garlic powder, and now I'm putting a little bit of Italian seasoning in there. Just going to mix it all together. And then I'm going to spread it over the top of my breadsticks. You can do this with olive oil. I'm not going to probably use all of this butter. I might, but probably most likely not. And then we'll just have some garlic butter for dinner sometime. Or another batch of breadsticks or whatever, because I could always freeze this. Alrighty. Just gonna spread it across the top. Now when I do my breadsticks, I'm not gonna let it rise a ton. I don't want breadsticks as, thick as a loaf of bread, so. And all I did was press it onto my largest pizza pan, and then we'll slice it. I may score it before it goes in the oven. I usually do. And then we can just pull them apart. See, I've not done one on this large pizza pan. Maybe it will take all of this butter. And then what I usually do to make sure that I have enough garlic on there is just go ahead and sprinkle a little bit more garlic over the top. Yeah, I did use all the garlic. All right. Well, I should have been using the spoon to spread it, I guess. It's a lot easier. Now I'm not really going all the way through, I'm just scoring them. And then I'm just going to go right across the middle. Alrighty, and now when the first batch of bread is out of the oven, this will go in and it'll only be just a few minutes to rise just a little bit. We don't want it quite as crunchy as a pizza dough and not quite as fluffy as a loaf of bread. Somewhere in that nice chewy middle. And here are these absolutely gorgeous, soft and fluffy buns ready to eat. Well, not ready to eat, ready to cool and then be cut. Just look at how beautiful they are. One thing I love about this recipe is that I will cool these completely, throw them in the freezer. Oh, I'll cut them first, then I'll throw them in the freezer. And then we have fresh bread whenever we want it. We just pull it out, throw it in the microwave, and then top it however we like. So these are gonna cool and we'll be on to our next ones. I think the garlic bread is almost done. I can smell it. It smells amazing. The breadsticks, or garlic bread, as I called it earlier, is done. And all I'm going to do is just take my bench scraper, dough cutter, whatever you want to call it, go back over my score, and man, did this ever puff up gorgeously. And I'm just going to go all the way through, and then I'm going to split these into freezer bags and put these in the freezer, of course, when it's fully cooled. But these breadsticks are so big and fluffy that we're definitely going to get 4 meals out of this one pan of bread easily. Oh, my stomach is growling really loud. It smells amazing in this house. All this bread cooking. So now I'll put it on a cooling rack and let it fully cool, and in the freezer it goes. On to, oh yes, the last thing of the day will be the bagels. We're going to do 4 different flavors of bagels. We're going to do plain bagels, cinnamon raisin bagels, garlic and herb bagels, and ranch flavored bagels. I don't have any everything seasoning, which is actually fine. I love everything seasoning, but other flavors are good as well. And I'm not sure if I'll do garlic and herb this time or if I'll do cheddar cheese. I guess we'll have to wait and see how the mood strikes me in the moment. There is 24 beautiful bagels. If you're wondering where the cinnamon raisin went, well, I forgot that I needed to do that separately because of the cinnamon. You have to, yeah, there's a whole other step. So that's going to be a batch in its own. So the flavors we have are, over here is garlic and herb, plain, ranch, and then cheese, which I ended up going with Colby Jack because that's what I had on hand. And they smell so good. I'm very excited to have all of these done. The last 2 things are some sub buns and some pizza crusts, and then that will be, let's count. So we did sandwich buns, we did bagels, we did breadsticks, and then pizza dough and sub buns. That's 5 different bread products made from one bread recipe. I don't know about you, but that's really exciting to me, since it can be hard to keep track of 10 different bread recipes. So I hope you enjoyed this. Oh, sorry, I'm closing the video and I'm actually not ready. I will show you the pizza crust and the sub buns.